Hello and good evening from Germany. This is Jonathan Quell Higgins, streaming live here on Elite Horology. It's 9 o'clock in the evening, beautiful late spring night, and I'm joined by my good friend and celebrity YouTuber, the Dodger. Let's see if Dodger is here.
Hello and good evening from Poland.
Hey,
How are you doing, my friend?
glad that you made it. I'm doing very well. I hope that I've been preparing myself well enough for all your dodgy questions.
Good,
Um,
because I haven't done hardly any of the preparation I should have. So I'm expecting to know all about reference numbers and movement numbers, and so we can discuss all these various factors.
yeah, I'm very bad with reference numbers and movement numbers, but I'm gonna try to do my best. In my honest opinion, people don't care what the reference number is or what the movement reference number is. It's more about the functions and what changed and everything like that. But I have a spreadsheet with all relevant information. Oh,
Oh,
why?
excellent.
1 second here. We have a naked man here in the house, so let's pull him up.
A naked
Hey,
man.
Jamie.
Okay.
I am just here to support
Hello,
my
Mr.
friend.
Naked.
Hello, Dodger. I'm here to support you.
Oh,
How about
thank you.
me?
I need support.
Dodger, Mr. Quell Higgins the third. What's the news about the mangoes? I sent you mangoes and you haven't given any feedback.
I thanked you for them. I
No,
thanked you for
you thanked me for the bracelet.
really okay. So I thank you for the mangoes. They have been excellent, but of course you fucked it up because I wanted to have 3 packs each, 5 of them. So I wanted.
Oh,
I think King Power is selling the big packs, the multi packs,
yeah.
and you were sending me over the single packs.
Oh, did I get it? So you want? Oh, sorry. I do apologize.
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
I
no,
got.
no reason for apologizing. They have been fantastic, smashing, and I hope that that Lux Report will bring me the multi packs when he comes to London, and probably he hands them over to you or to Dodger. And next time that we see, what is that here?
Five Guys.
I'm
Five
not
Guys.
doing
It
any more
looks like
traffic. You guys, I mean, what happens? I mean, I'm in Bangkok, right, with a bunch of guys, and then one guy says, "Can you take this package over to this guy in Germany?" And I say, "There's me and Mrs. Dodgy, in our 60s, and we're asked to take these packages that we have no idea what's inside them apart from powder, mango powder, or whatever it is. And next thing we know, the customs guys are taking our cases apart. Seriously, they completely searched. They went through the scanner."
Yeah.
With the mangoes, and they went through all the luggage.
Did the dog sniff? By the way, I just wanted to welcome the guests that came over from the horology dungeon. Tanzil dropped the link, and hello and good evening to everybody. Welcome to the horology dungeon. I hope that you're having an enjoyable evening together with us. And we're just hanging out with some friends. Jamie is making me now very hungry.
He's
So
stuffing
there,
his face.
yeah. So there is Five Guys in Sevilla.
Sevilla.
Sevilla. Yeah.
Sevilla, yeah.
Another reason to go there.
I'm going home tomorrow, back on the diet in the run up to London.
Look at the
Very
size
good.
of that burger. Jesus, Jamie. I mean, you've managed to fit a whole cow in that.
Double burger.
Double cow.
So Patel Philippe insists that the link was only for you, Dodger, not for me. So let's see who else is in the comments. It
Cool.
is my main lead, Zappy, who is a big Higgy simp. So hello, good evening, and good to see you. As always, Chili is joining us. Patel Philippe is here in the house. Mike the Snake is here in the house. Hey,
Mikey! Yeah.
that is a surprise. Mikey, hop on the panel and celebrate the new watch of Dodgers with us. You're always welcome. Tiktology is saying hello. Muhammad Ali, our good friend from the UK, is here. Zeppi says Pikachu is gorgeous. I have to agree. Frank Cannon is here. Congratulations on the new watch Dodger.
Thank you very much.
The German cunt bracelet, yes, that was something legendary. Mrs. Higgins was not really pleased seeing that one.
Jamie, can I have a Pol? Can you get me a Polish cunt? He and I can be like bros, bracelet bros.
Then he has to travel to Thailand again, I guess.
The problem is
I guess
not
so.
many Polish cunts go to Thailand, but a lot of German cunts. A lot of German cunts like Higgy do.
Fuck you, Jamie Opulence. I'm gonna
market.
boot you off if you're so nasty. You're still here, by the way.
Yeah. A lot of German cunts go to Thailand.
Poland, yeah. yeah. Well, Poles only go to Germany to steal cars and raid Rolex ADs for reparations of Rolex watches.
We have a new panel member here, the original OC. Hello.
OC.
I'm not in my pool, but
Bang.
I'm here nonetheless.
You're in
Very
the
good.
studio.
Jonathan, it's been a few weeks since I joined you on the panel. It's good to be here.
Absolutely, yeah. You're always welcome. And give us your guesses for the special guest for the Big Brother house in London, OC.
All I know is Jamie's milking this for all it's worth, and I'm smart enough not to get roped into his stupid games, his shenanigans. He's got everybody wrapped around his little finger, and he's enjoying every moment of this, though.
Oh yeah, he's enjoying his moments of
him.
fame. This is his moments of fame.
Yeah.
I say.
I know who it is, and I can see how Jamie and Tickers are talking shit around the person and supplying the guys with wrong leads. It's really hilarious.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who it is. I'll tell you that. It's probably going to be a completely anticlimactic based on the hype and all the shit that he's trying to build up. So
I reckon it's Shovel. You know, he's had the greatest contact. You remember we were in Vegas? We spent all night with Shovel. I reckon it's Shovel. He's the closest contact. It's going to be the Shovel. Oh, my money's on the Shovel.
Also, I wouldn't put it past Jamie to be feeding flat out lies to every single person he's talking to. I mean, he's telling Higgins it's one person, he's telling me somebody else, he's telling Dodger it's somebody else, he's telling Tickers it's the fourth person. So this fucker is milking it for all that it's worth. He's become a stream. Jamie's become a stream whore. Let's be honest. I mean,
well, since he changed his name,
he's talking continents and incontinence and who's from this incontinent and that incontinent. It's getting far too complicated.
He's gone from a guy who loves traveling around, going where the fun is, to becoming an active troll, manipulating people in the community for his own personal gain, and he's enjoying it, and good for him. I mean, God bless him.
Do you think he should change his screen name into Hate Jamie now that he joined the drama?
No, he's fine. The drama is always well intentioned and it's all in good fun. There's no like hate or sinister motives in any of the stuff that Jamie does. So
he tricked you on that, certainly. Have you seen the German cunt bracelet?
No, I haven't.
Do you want to see it? That's the question. Probably not, OC.
It's funny because on this panel, there are three people who have my phone number, are in direct contact with me, and I'm on friendly terms with. How does that make? I mean, how is that? That's amazing, don't you think?
Yeah, OC, you're on my red telephone. Let's be honest here.
Is that an alternate phone where?
No. That is the important one.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So, if it's anybody, it's someone who doesn't matter. So I wouldn't give a shit who the mystery guest is.
We have another celebrity here, Mike, the Pussy Magnet. Hey,
Mike the Snake.
Hi, Mikey.
What's up, OC? I haven't said hi to you in forever and a day.
It's been forever. I have your artwork sitting on my desk right here. I will prove it to you. It's
very cool.
It's about 40 pounds, so it's like
I know.
Look at this thing. This thing is
1 second full screen on OC.
This thing is incredible. I mean,
wow.
It's unbelievable. This thing is just, it's solid. I mean, it's literally like 20 or 30 pounds of just resin and wood, and I gave him a little bit of creative direction on what to do with it, like maybe the color scheme, but he had full creative control on everything else, and it's something that I cherish and I am proud to have, and I look at it every single day. So,
I'm really glad you like that, man. It means a lot.
Thanks.
OC, do you think it was an underhanded move from Mike the Snake to send Tim Wright the stinky one? The smelly one?
No, that was I used some spray adhesive to put the felt on the bottom, so the bottom of the piece wouldn't scratch your table.
Poisonous adhesive, correct? True or false?
No, it was 3M adhesive spray that you use in kindergarten that you give your kids to do art projects with. He just was hypersensitive to fucking smells.
No. Or it could have just been toxic.
No, it wasn't toxic. It's 3M adhesive spray. You know, it's used like worldwide. There's nothing. I mean, I'm sure it's toxic. If you huff that shit, you're in trouble. But there's nothing that terrible about it. And I think the fact that he took it and wrapped it up in saran wrap just sealed the stink in. Like he didn't let it air out.
So it was user error. He didn't follow instructions on how to properly.
No, I did. It was one of my first pieces, and so I didn't know to just not use 3M spray anymore. Lesson learned.
Mine has zero smell whatsoever.
Yeah, that's because I used
literally zero smell.
I used double-sided tape on yours to put the felt on the bottom.
Yep, that felt on the bottom.
Yeah.
It is absolutely
that thing
phenomenal.
Came out so cool. There's so many different types of wood in there, and so many aspects to it. You just change the angle and change the lighting too. If you take it outside and put it in different light, oh my god!
Here you got the guy from Scream. See the Scream mask hidden in there?
Oh yeah,
that's a hidden message.
Yeah.
Mike, are these funeral urns that you were making for the guys?
No, everybody seemed to want to request them or talked about them, but I've never considered. I consider like what I make as vases or bespoke vases and bespoke art. And if somebody wants to, order me up specifically an urn for them, then I'll do that. But
I have the ashes of 2 fallen YouTubers inside of this urn.
Oh wow, very cool.
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not really doing right now. I've got another job that that takes precedence over my artwork. So until that job is completed, I'm really not making any pieces, or if I do, it's going to be very slow going.
Commissioned.
Yeah, well, they're all commissioned, hopefully, except when I get back on the horse, I'm going to be pumping these things out because I'm set up to do production now. I've got enough equipment to do 2, 3, 4 at a time. But man, they take so much work. I mean, having to prep the wood, and there's so many processes to it. It is better to do 2 or 3 at a time instead of 1 at a time. But it won't be for a little while that I'm able to do that. What's up, Jamie?
Who do you think is the special guest in?
Oh, for fuck's sake, Jamie! Oh my God! I'm gonna boycott watching any of these streams, including my own streams.
We're supposed to be talking about Oysterflex Daytonas here, guys.
Yeah, Dodger is getting anxiety here.
We were talking about movements and stuff, and counting how many movements. And I was going to say, man, if you're having to count how many movements you take in a day, you're in trouble.
I usually manage one.
I know that Mike spent over 100 man hours creating this urn, and that's why when I paid $8,500 for it, I felt that it was money well spent because I know how much time you put into it. So.
Mikey, be honest. How often have you been when you did this special urn for OC? How often have you been cursing out OC? Fuck you, OC. Fuck you.
I've never cursed him out. Never.
Okay.
No. In fact, I'm on fine terms with OC. We've never had bad words between us, and I'm happy to see him every time I see him. I'm happy to talk to him every time I talk to him.
Did OC offer you his marketing services?
To do what? He's fine on his own.
Yeah. No. All I really needed to do is just make something and spruik it on the streams, and somebody usually snaps them up. OC's was the first one that was actually in order. I'll take, make one for me and I'll take it. And I said, okay, done. And I did that. But the rest of them were like, hey, look what I made. And somebody was like, I'll take it. And I was
look what I can do.
Sold. Yeah, look what I can do. But soon enough I'll be back on the horse. Do
you have a passport, Mike? Yes or no?
It expired recently. I will be getting another one very soon.
Oh, interesting.
I am planning on doing some international traveling this year with my brother.
Oh, you're gonna be the secret guest then?
No, it's not me. No.
Mikey, are you going to London? When are you going to London?
I'm not going to London.
Have you bought your tickets?
That's exactly what the secret guest would say.
No, not going to London. I'll tell you where I am going. It's going to be where there's a Formula One race internationally, and my brother's taking me to one.
It's happening in London.
Probably Singapore or China or whatever hasn't happened yet already. He owes me. He's a CEO of a large steel company, and he does a lot of traveling to Asia and all over the world. And so taking me along is like really no big deal. I just got to get my passport, which just recently expired. So just got to get a new one.
Very soon, apparently.
But I am not the secret guest. I'm in the group of people that are guessing and wondering who it might be.
My money is on you now, Mikey.
No, okay, man. You're betting on a losing horse there, but go ahead and bet.
Have you seen how Jamie was smiling when the accusations were brought out?
No, look, my goal is New York this year. Okay, that's what I'm shooting for. I'm hoping that I'm putting the word out now. It's in October, and I'm hoping that with enough notice that I can hopefully get enough people to maybe help me out to get there and kind of do what has happened with a number of other people.
And people say I'm the marketer. Mike's spruiking his artwork. He's spruiking for financial support to go to New York. Hey
man, when you're good, you're good, right?
Yeah, he's on a roll.
See, I'm giving you the spot.
For London. Can I spruik for London as well?
Spruik for London because I'm not going to London. Spruik away,
I'll
man.
Mikey's money for London. Yeah,
London's yours, Dodger. Yeah. How you doing, Dodger?
I need funding. I'm doing all right, man. I was hoping to talk about watches, but never mind. We're just going to sort of part ways.
Well, let's see your fucking watch, man. That's what I logged on for.
I thought you'd never ask.
I heard rumors that you're renting out your Manhattan 7-bedroom apartment for the watch meetup in New York. Is there any substance to that?
There's no truth to that whatsoever.
Oh, one second, Dodger. I'm going.
Oh my goodness, Dodger, my lord.
Dodger, can you do a landscape?
Wow.
No, how does that work? Hang on. What do I do?
Just flip it over.
That's a gold Daytona on.
No, flip it over. Just flip it over.
Turn your phone 90 degrees to the left.
Oh right, you mean turn it round? Oh yeah.
Hey, or the right. Wonderful looking house you have. Man, I wish my house looked
press
as
anything.
nice.
Just twist the wrist.
Yeah, it's not a setting.
Okay, hang on. Twist the wrist. Hang on. I'll twist the wrist.
There you go.
There you go.
Don't dox yourself.
Oh, now we lost internet.
Wow. Awesome, dude.
Put it a little bit away from the camera that it can focus.
Oh, Higgins, just stop it.
Sorry. I'm a perfectionist.
The Pikachu.
There you go.
Is that what that is called? Is Pikachu?
Yeah.
The old one has been called Pikachu. Is the new one officially named that as well?
It's a big question. I don't think it should be called the Pikachu anymore because the old one had these are now these are like sticks, and the old markers, the old indices are like antlers. And so this is a completely different watch, I reckon. It's I don't think you can classify it as being Pikachu.
Yeah, because we are an educational watch channel. I prepared a picture of the old Pikachu just so that the punters can see the difference.
Yeah, with the darkened indices, I get it. Yeah.
Yes, with the dark indices.
Yeah, the ant style, now that they're more stick-like. So I think the new dial looks completely different to the old Pikachu.
Well, I think the lighting is different, between live and that picture.
Oh, Dodger, okay.
Oh, look.
I thought you're still showing your watch.
Well, I can still show the watch. Hang on, do it the right way around. But hang on, I'll take it off the wrist.
Look,
that's a stunner, Dodger. Wow.
Dodger, do you want to walk us a little bit through the story of your Pikachu? Have you ever been a Rolex fan? Did you ever dream about the gold Rolex? How did you come to the solid gold Daytona? What is the story?
I missed all of that because you went bing bong, and it might be my internet. I don't know. So could you ask the question again? Please?
Okay. First question is: have you ever been into Rolex? Was that always on your wish list?
Have I ever been into a Rolex shop?
That's a leading question.
Are you asking me if I've ever been into a Rolex shop or been into it as in?
No.
No, it means like, have you ever been like into it in terms of interested?
Well, my first watch that I bought was when I started work, got my interest in watches, was a Seiko, analog Seiko. that cost me £56 in 1977. In 1988, I bought a 16013 date just two-tone, because that was the thing to wear. Richard Gere and everybody else was wearing it, dish dash dosh, those days of Maggie Thatcher, and get out on your bicycle and make some money. And so my first big bonus, I went out and bought a 16013 date just 1988, and I guess that's where my Rolex journey began.
How did you convert from Seiko to Rolex? How did that happen?
Well, Seiko, the Seiko I actually bought in '77. You imagine the transition from digital quartz to analog quartz. The watch I bought, which I've got knocking around somewhere, and it's still running to this day. Somebody got something on in the background.
Yeah, I think it's Jamie.
I've got to get out. I've got to get out. I've got to get out.
Jamie, thank you very much for dropping by.
I've got to get out of the pool. It's nice to see you guys. I'm going for a warm shower. Have a good evening. See you later.
He's gotta go.
Jamie.
Bye, Jamie.
He's got to go, and he's wearing his birthday
don't
suit,
pee.
so we don't need to see that.
Don't pee in the pool wherever you do. Just
too late
That's
for that
probably
message.
why they asked her to leave.
So yeah, it was transitional then, and when I don't know if you guys, well, OC might remember, you might, Jonathan, the time when it transitioned from digital quartz to analog quartz, and it was quite a thing to see the analog quartz watches in the shop. And I used to ogle over this Seiko in this shop. My first job, my first pay packet, I went and bought £56. I remember exactly how much it was, £56. And I bought this analog quartz, and that was my first journey into horology properly, buying my own first watch. But before then, my brother would bring things back, like, automatic watches with alarm functions and what happened that would just sort of break within 5 minutes, that type of thing. And I think I had a Timex at one point with a plastic bezel, whatever you want to call it. And that probably snapped in half. So I used to try and hold it together with some sellotape.
So
back onto the watch, that sort of thing. But yeah, my first dibs into watches. I know it's a big thing spending your first wage packet on a watch was on a watch. So yeah, that was my first dibs into watches.
But that was the Seiko, the famous Seiko.
That was a Seiko in 1977 when I worked for a electrical engineering company. I was a trainee programmer then. I was just a trainee.
So you and I, we've been talking a lot about Rolex and particularly steel Rolex sports model. I know that you always wanted the Pepsi, but I never knew that your goal was a gold Daytona. Was that a goal, or was that just due to the fact that a steel Daytona is virtually impossible to get?
I can. I think Mrs. Dodger just wants to model something. The other thing, because she's here, and we're skipping the show a little bit, but she wanted to. The one thing that we both noticed, if you can put me on full screen, and she's. You put me on full screen?
Yeah, it's looking better on her than on you.
Yes.
Well, we all know exactly.
That. 1 second. Mrs. Dodger's hand. Hi, Mrs. Dodger.
Mikey's saying hello. She can't hear you because I've got my earbuds in. But the thing is, we noticed that it actually, as a unisex watch, it actually looks better on her wrist than probably on mine.
Yep.
So apart from the fact that I had they had to extend the rubber strap. It's a bit big. It's a shame because we could both actually wear this watch.
Dodger, you know that there is an easy fix for that.
Oh, what's that?
Just get another one.
Get another one. Well, that's the other problem we've got. We're skipping the show. Do you know that our friendly little German AD has still got 32,000 euros of mine?
Still, he hasn't returned it.
He hasn't returned. So we might be calling you in for a bit of help. AD, please give us our money back. But it's a long story short. We ended up, because I made Mrs. Dodger made a transfer from our joint bank account to buy this. Apparently it wasn't good enough to satisfy Rolex. The transfer had to be made in my name. So what happened was she made a transfer of 33,000 euros, and then I subsequently had to transfer from one of my UK accounts another 32,000 euros.
Because it was a joint account,
and so we collected the watch, but they still owe me, or Mrs. Dodger rather, or our joint account, 32,000 euros.
Yeah, collect it soon before they go belly up.
When Rolex go belly up.
that's not going to happen. We are not going to reveal the AD. If you need someone from Germany to beat them up, just give me a call and I'm driving by.
Yeah. Well, no. I've got another ploy. As you know, I never bought this to flip it, and I've never done that, and I'm not interested in money. But I could say, do you think this will work? If I go back and say, well, look, I love this watch, but I heard since you have 32,000 euros of my money there, is there any chance that you could sort of, I've had maybe a little bit of second thought, you could trade this for a lemon? Trade that and the other 32,000 for a lemon? But no, I wouldn't. I am being deadly serious here. I would not want a Le Mans or a stainless steel to replace this. I wouldn't want it at all, because I'm of an age, where, with Richard Gere and everybody else in, Pretty Woman and everybody else was wearing the two-tone date just back in the day. I love gold, I'm not into this stealth wealth and platinum looks.
I love gold.
I love filming this doesn't give it any justice when you've got it on your wrist and the sun's shining, and certainly at certain times of the day, It's absolutely stunning. It's a stunning watch.
Yeah, and it's the new
And
one.
I would
It's the
say
one.
it's
It's the
no
one. It's the
longer.
126.
Yeah, it's the one to, and that's why I'm glad you hopped on, because I know you've got the previous model, because this one's like a slimmer case. I see.
Slightly slimmer. It's like
like
a half. It's
Yeah,
0.5 millimeters slimmer.
it sits lower on the wrist, 'cause I tried the previous model on, but plus it's got the glide lock clasp, the new glide lock.
Nice.
The other thing I like is the surround on the bezel. Now it's got the metal surround, the gold surround, and I guess the steel
Yeah.
one has got a steel surround.
Sure
I think that
does.
finish it off a bit better. But to be honest, I do prefer the previous indices. I'm not too sure about these new indices. I think
The
the
dark
dial
buttons.
on the dial on the previous model, I believe to be better looking personally. I don't know what your thoughts are, Ose.
No, the dial on this one's much nicer. I like the thinner
You think
indices.
so?
Yeah, I don't like the boats. Like I'm wearing the 116, and I don't like the boats.
You don't like it?
They're
Oh,
short.
okay.
They're stubby. They're
Stubby, yeah, I like stubby.
No, well, I know why you and Mrs. Dodger were like stubby, but I mean, I like the thin, long ones, and the Lume go out to the end of the tips on the new ones, like you have, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I have to agree. I think the new dial looks a little bit more sophisticated, elegant, while the old one looks a little bit very sporty, I would say. Is that a fair assessment, Lucy?
No, I just think the new one is it harkens back to what the Zenith Daytonas looked like with the thinner indices. I just like the look better. And if Dodger could learn to not put the watch within an inch and a half of the camera, we might be able to actually see.
Yeah, we could see it.
And if Jonathan could produce and actually move him to big screen, but not full screen, so he can keep us on the screen at the same time.
Okay, let me try to do that.
Tell me when.
I think I can't, because I have the cheap ass. Here we go.
Oh, okay. See.
What's
so,
the
Dodger,
best?
turn the watch around that the Rolex crown is at 12. Exactly.
Oh, is it upside down? Okay.
Move it back away from the camera. Thank you. There you go.
I've been cursed out for giving Dodger directions, so I'm happy that you're taking the job.
You got to produce. You got to have a producer.
Are those subdials black, or are they gold at certain angles?
Black, full black.
Black.
Okay, very cool, beautiful.
So, OC, we all know that the new generation of the Daytona have that ring around the bezel, and I know for a fact for the steel one that this ring is not a bezel. This is part of the mid case. Is that also the case with the gold watch? Do you know that?
Yeah, I believe it is, and I'd love to see the construction of this watch, because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's going to be easy to take off the bezel and to polish up that metal ring." It's like, no, it's not going to be easy. From what I understand, that ring is part of the mold when they cast the watch.
Yeah,
it looks solidly connected, to be honest. I mean,
yeah. So when it gets bashed up and dinged up, who knows how they're going to be able to. I don't think it's replaceable.
Yeah, that is one of the criticism of the new model, and I'm curious if that is also the case for the gold watch. But I agree with you, OC. I think they are not having a different construction just because the watch is solid gold. I'm trying to show you the profile of the old one because Dodger was trying to explain that his new watch is a little bit slimmer. What did I do? 1 second. Okay, so here is a picture of the old model, and you can see that the case back is sticking out quite high.
That's
and Rolex saved 0.5 millimeter in the thickness of the watch. Keep in mind we're talking 12 millimeters, so it's a significant amount by making that case back slimmer and thinner. So it is a different wearing experience.
I think the total height went from 12.4 to 11.9.
Exactly, yeah.
But it makes a lot of difference because I did try the previous model on, and the fit for me personally, with my wrist 7.5 inch, it's just absolutely perfect. It's very, very flat. It's very flat on the wrist. It doesn't feel as top heavy as the previous model.
Yeah. So not only because most of the people identify the new model just with that additional ring around the bezel versus the solid ceramic bezel, and we're just trying to explain that although it's not really obvious and at first sight, a lot has changed in that transition from the old model to the new model.
Yeah.
And
less for the precious metal ones than the stainless steel ones, because the stainless steel and the John Mayer had a different case than the precious metal versions in the 116, and now all of the 126s use the same case. The old ones had the asymmetrical lugs, the stainless steel and the John Mayer, but now all of them are using the same case.
So the other thing I've noticed,
I wasn't aware of that.
Yep. 1 second, and I prepared something here, so you can see it here. The new model on the left, the old model on the right, and you can see here, particularly the lugs on the crown side. On the old model are relatively slim, and on the new model they are almost symmetrical. So it's almost the same thickness. I think that was never the case on the precious metal. I think the gold one was much better in that regard. Is that correct?
It was the gold. The solid gold had the same profile as the steel in the 116.
I think
the
also
yellow gold.
I think also the lug tips of the old one were quite pointy in steel, while the ones in gold have always been flattened, just like it is at the moment. 1 second, I'm trying to pull up the
there's a profile shot that shows the profile where the precious metals had the feet at the bottom of the lugs. Yeah.
1 second, I'm trying to find the profile shot.
The other thing I've noticed while you're doing that is that I've had the steel Daytona on the wrist, and now having the gold, the finish on the gold watch is just another level. It is a completely different level of finish to the steel watch. You'd have to see it in the flesh to sort of see what it's like. I mean, the finish is just so much better than I believe that the steel watch is finished.
It's gold. It looks better.
I guess it's gold. Yeah, it's gold. But I think even so, if you look at the hands and everything else, just the whole thing, just oozes finish. More perfection. The steel is more, it came off a lathe. The edges aren't quite, a bit razorish and not quite rounded, or it's. I think the steel ones looks a bit more brutal, was that word for it? But the gold one's more rounded and finished off, more, I don't know, seems more shapely.
Now I found the picture that I wanted to show you.
Finally.
Is the bevel on the edge of the lugs larger, or deeper bevel on the gold than the steel?
Now they're not. Now they're all the same. But in the past, but comparing to the previous one, you can see the old one is the one on the right.
Yeah, and it's kind of sharp.
And the new one, the lug is completely different. The whole shape of the case.
Oh yeah, look at that! Wow, and you're right about the feet on the bottom of the lugs.
Yep.
So, but keep in mind, we're talking about the steel model. I think the previous gold model also still had those flat feet already.
Okay.
So the biggest difference is on the steel model, which has a total different shape on the lugs.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're two completely, just between the steel and the gold, they're just two completely different things, really.
Guys, I have to jump. Jonathan, thank you for having me on. Mike, great to see you. Jonathan, Dodger, congratulations again on the amazing watch. Peace out. I got to go, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you very much for being our guest.
Take care.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Good to see you, man.
So I wanted to Because Dodger surprised me a little bit. He has been researching a lot, and for example, I was not aware of the different shape of the case back. So he went into researching this watch quite a while, and
Not really.
I was a little bit scared of the show tonight because I was afraid that Dodger will ask me questions that I'm not able to reply to, and preactively. I was doing a little bit research about the movement, because not only the case is different, also the movement has changed dramatically. And I'm not talking about the open case back movement on the Platona. Also the steel Daytona movement has changed, as you can see here. So the old movement you can see on the left side, the new movement you can see on the right side. And I would like to walk you through the difference also in the movement. So first of all, the power reserve is unchanged. It's 72 hours on the old model and on the new one. What is quite significant, and we have Uzi here. Hey, good evening, Uzi.
Hey, Higgins, how you doing?
Hey, Uzi.
Very good.
Hey, mate. It's nice to be on a panel with you, Uzi.
What's going on?
We are watches.
Yeah, we're talking watches, boring watch talk, and yeah, it's good to see you. And yeah, maybe do you have a gold Daytona as well?
I don't have a gold Daytona, no.
Okay. So we're talking about Dodger's gold Daytona. Piroka Swiss is in the chat, and he's giving us some quite interesting information. He says Rolex finishes gold cases in-house, whereas steel cases are outsourced. I didn't know that.
I did that. I knew there's some. As I say, it's a step level up. This gold one compared to the finish of the steel is just something else.
Yeah. Swiss, hop on the channel. I just posted the link. Your inside knowledge is always welcome. So, yeah, one main difference from the old caliber, which is called the 4130, to the new one, which is now 4131, is the bearing here of the rotor, the central bearing. That changed from 7 balls to 22 balls. So that ring is now filled out with balls, while there is a lot of spacing here on the old movement. Also, the shock protection has changed. Now they are using the Paraflex protection, while before it was the KIF shock absorber, and some major changes in the escapement as well. But I don't want to bore you. They have been changing
They've also removed components, haven't they, Jonathan? They've actually reduced the number of components in the watch movement.
Yeah, I heard that as well. Yes, yeah, they made it simpler, but here that is the improvement in the escapement. Old one versus the new one.
Was this bought new? Was this purchased new?
Yeah, brand new AD.
It looks like one of the escapement on the left has jewels on the ends of the teeth, and on the those not
no, those are not jewels. Those are flattened out flanks, and those contain the oil usually. So those little tips on the teeth, they are oiled, and they are kind of reservoirs for the oil, so that they're not floating around everywhere.
I see. I just noticed that the wheel on the right seems to just be primarily a one material.
But what you can see on the new escapement, which is on the right, is the pierced out teeth, for example. Maybe you remember my interview with Bernhard Lederer, and he said everything on the escapement has to be highly efficient, and weight counts. And you see that construction with the pierced out spokes, with the pierced out teeth. They are saving here in the milligram range, but there it really matters. So it is new technology versus the old escapement, and that is also a main step.
That's quite impressive, isn't it? The workmanship on the actual engineering on that.
It really is.
Follow that out, isn't it, Mike? I mean, geez, look at that.
Yeah, and on the I don't. You've got the escapement wheel here, right? And then what's the escapement is the other
anchor.
part,
The
part
anchor,
above
you
it.
mean?
And the jewels look like they're slimmed up. You know, they're made a
They
little
are.
more slimline. Save
Very
some
well
weight there.
observed. Yeah.
And it's also at a drastically different angle.
Yeah.
And
It's crooked. Yeah.
yeah. So very, very different. But you know, it's you can see the weight savings that they or the attention to detail they went through to save weight on the one on the right. The one on the left is lightweight as well, just through its basic shape. You know, it's got really thin spokes, and the teeth are smaller, and the ring is you know, pretty small, so it's lightweight as well. But the one on the right, you know, it looks to be larger. I don't know if it physically is in the watch or if the picture just is bigger.
I think the picture is misleading. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, regardless, you can see all the weight savings they've done.
Yeah. Also, the entire construction of the teeth is totally different. The shape of the teeth, the crooking, so everything that works together so well is basically new designed and really a step ahead. Uzi, I've seen you in the comments and you were asking about Rolex diamonds. I didn't understand your question.
That's why I jumped on. I didn't want to take away from Dodger in the intricacies of the Daytona. But yeah, I was asking about diamonds. I have a kind of a question. You want me to ask it?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so I bought this watch. It's got the diamonds on it. So I was I bought a loop. So I look at it in the loop, and it's cloudy. Like some of the diamonds appear. Yeah, some of the diamonds, they look like they have inclusions on the bezel, and Rolex diamonds are not supposed to have inclusions whatsoever.
They shouldn't have inclusions, yes.
They shouldn't. But then
how high is the magnification on that loop?
There's two of them. There's one that's I actually looked at it in a microscope at a jeweler's too. It's 30 by 22 and 60 by 12.
So magnification for rating diamonds is tenfold magnification. If you look closer, you will find inclusions, but make sure that the stones are absolutely clean. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I was just going to say, like, if there was some glue or something that got behind the diamond and stuck to the side of it, that would might appear as an inclusion.
Yeah. So that is my point. So as far as I know, Rolex, the stones that Rolex is using, there are no Rolex stones. So Rolex is supplying them from diamond dealers, but they require a certain quality, a certain level of cleanness, and
IF clarity.
Yeah, I think it's IF clarity or VVS, but I'm pretty sure it's IF. So it should be internally flawless. That is what IF means. But that means tenfold magnification. So if you microscope them, you will find inclusions, and that is a sign of a natural diamond because they all have inclusions. It's only the question, what can you see with 10 times magnification?
Right.
Okay.
So I washed it off.
I washed
it. So, and once I washed it, you can't see that what I was seeing. So I guess what I saw without washing it in the beginning was like fingerprints and dust. But once you wash it and look with the loop, they clear up. It just scared me a little bit.
There is another aspect. So diamonds are grease magnets. So they attract grease just like a magnet. And so you have to keep them very clean. Also, the rating of internally flawless is done with single stones. So I wouldn't be surprised if there are any reflections from the neighboring stone that you see in the stone that you're checking. So even though you may see something, it will be interesting. So if I think you bought your watch at an AD, didn't you, Ozzy?
No. I did not.
Okay, so
there's plenty of interesting things. I mean, have you ever tried to look at these diamonds under UV? I mean, a lot of Rolex diamonds. I mean, they fluoresce. Some fluoresce, some don't fluoresce. There's
I
all sorts
did,
of
yes.
interesting things.
Yeah, some on the bezel, some of them fluoresce and some don't. But that's the nature of diamonds. Some do and some don't.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll see if I can get a diamond one, and we can do it.
Rolex is not calibrating diamonds to fluorescence. That would be over the top. Some high-end jewelers do, but for bezels usually they don't.
That usually indicates the presence of lead, right?
Oh, I don't know what causes that effect. There you are.
Minerals, yes, Mike, minerals, because natural diamonds do fluoresce, but not all of them do. So you can have diamonds on the same bezel, and some of them will fluoresce and some won't. So I already looked at that too. It's interesting.
The interesting part as well. The interesting part of that, I'm just going to go. Mrs. Dodger's going to go and get a diamond one, and I'll show you. You can actually identify your own watch by which diamonds actually fluoresce. So if you make a note of it, you can pretty much identify that that's your watch. You know, from Well, I'm just about Mrs. Dodger's just go and fetch her diamond one, and we'll put that under a UV and have a look ourselves.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. So yeah, now I lost track.
That's crazy. That's a good way to think about it. That's like a fingerprint watch.
UV lights are getting UV lights are getting more and more popular now, and some people are checking their bezels or their watches, and they freak out because they think when they see fluorescence those are fakes, and it's very difficult to calm those people down. So I'm happy that you know about fluorescence and
well, hang on, what I'm doing, I'll get the Pepsi as well. Hang on.
But what I learned about fluorescence is through my marble collection.
Oh, okay.
See, that's the other way to tell the Pepsi's a fake or not, is the UV. I'll get the Pepsi as well. We'll have a bit of fun. Have you got the time, Jonathan?
Yeah.
Pepsi, the red's supposed to do something different, right? When you're under
we'll do that in a minute. We're going to get a Pepsi. We're going to get some diamonds, and we're going to have a bit of a play if I can get the camera to work.
Well, I know with my marble collection, I have a vintage marble collection, and the number of the ones that I have will fluoresce with a black light, and in reading about them, those are the ones that the glass contained lead, and so those are the ones that light up when hit with a black light.
So Uzi, when you're cleaning the bezel before checking, clean it with dish detergent and a soft brush. And then clean them again with a Q-tip with some alcohol on top.
Oh, I didn't know that, but I did what you said at first: a toothbrush and some Dawn. So I just did that and scrub, but I didn't do the alcohol.
Yeah, the alcohol removes then still some stains and swipes. So you better do that. But just like dials. The more magnification you put on, the more flaws you see, and that is also a recommendation. For example, 10 times loops are not recommended to check your hands or your dial, because you will see the imperfections there.
Okay, I'm just bringing some watches.
I'm bringing you full screen. Uzi?
Hang on.
No. Uzi's showing us the
fluorescence
on his watch.
You see how some fluoresce and some don't?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I took this a while back. Like, you see that? Yeah, some of them you can't see on the picture, but yeah. But you can see a few of them, but some more are fluorescing than what you see. But it's a picture, so it's kind of hard. But yeah, that's what you guys were talking about, right?
Okay. That's all. I'll do the same as Uzi. Hang on, turn my camera on.
Yeah, Uzi, to give you some comfort, it's very difficult to fake the stones in the lugs. So if that is smooth, the indication is very high that nobody tampered with your watch.
Yeah, the lug diamonds look exactly the same as the bezel. So that's what I think, that how it's definitely original.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there we go.
Okay, hang on.
Datejust with diamond bezel. Is that an original one or aftermarket?
You know me. What do you think it's going to be?
Looks original.
Well, there you go. Hang on. Hang on. I do actually have the world's biggest UV torch. Whether or not we can do it. Hang on.
We can see your toes, certainly.
Oh, you can see my toes. Oh, that's good. Hands, knees, and toes.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, we can see them. Yeah.
Same exact thing, man. Same thing.
Yeah.
That's the fingerprint.
Yeah.
So I can't see it because hang on, I can. Hang on.
Hey, somebody in the
can
chat.
See it.
A good
we can
point
see
here.
it perfectly.
Yeah, we can see them. Well, man, you learn something new every day, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a bit of a fingerprint. That the ones that glow, you make a note or take a picture.
Yep.
Very good idea. By the way, do you know how Rolex finds out if somebody non-authorized has opened your watch?
UV looking for fingerprints?
No.
How far it's been screwed on? Like, do they mark the placement of how far it's been tightened?
That is what Omega does. But they mark the so you see the brushing on the case back, and
yes,
they take pictures of the angle, and if that angle is not correct, then they refuse it. It's the same. Lange does it. They have several screws on the case back, and the orientation of those screws is recorded and stored in their database.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have the Pepsi.
Yep. Okay, very cool.
That's nice.
So we've got the Pepsi, but now the way you tell, one of the ways you can tell.
Swiss, don't be a stranger and hop on. Come on, let's stop the.
Okay, so we'll now put the Pepsi under UV. Okay.
Yeah, now it's full red.
Wow.
So
yes, because Rolex always says that this is one piece. It's not bound together of a kind. I have no idea how they do it, but apparently it's true because many people
we'll move
think
that back to normal light.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Charge it up. Is that what you did? You charged it up right there?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Wow.
That's normal. That's normal. Then under UV.
All red.
Yeah.
All red.
And it glows like a torch, the Lume under UV.
It really does glow. I mean, the red is, if the camera's doing this justice, it is an absolute blood bright red.
Oh, I see what you're doing. The color goes away and turns all red.
Yeah,
it's absolutely. Exactly. It's more red. It's more red than the red you get under the normal light. So, hang on. Does help if I put my camera.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy, isn't it?
That is very, very cool.
So let's have a look at the Pikachu under UV just out of interest.
Yeah.
You know, I've never owned a GMT, and I think that may have to be my next Rolex.
At the moment, you don't have a Rolex at all, Mikey.
I don't. No.
But you have the Seiko that your father gave you.
I do, and I've got my Speedmaster my daily that I wake up in the morning and I wind it and I put it on, and I love it to death. But there is a hole in my heart without a Rolex in my collection.
Dodger, can you put both the Daytona and the GMT into UV light? Because I think the lume of the Daytona is more blue than on your Pepsi.
Oh, hang on. I was just going to show this watch, the diamond, under a better light. The kitchen sink is the best light.
Yeah, put the watch a little bit away from the camera. Yeah, now it focuses.
Yeah, aftermarket diamonds look way. They make them bigger. Like they just stick out of the bezel more.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, but not always, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
And the setting is perfect
actually,
here on that one.
Mrs. Dodger says the bathroom light is far better. Maybe that's where she stands and looks at her watch.
Crappy wants to put his Victorinox under UV light. Crappy, don't do it. We don't want
mother of pearl dial.
Yeah.
So what did you want me to do? Put my Daytona and what under the? All three under UV?
No, the Pepsi and the Daytona together under UV.
Okay,
because I have the
UV.
feeling that the Lume on your Pepsi is a little bit greenish, while the Daytona is more bluish.
Okay, that's interesting. No, I've not tried that experiment. Hang on. So okay, let's put this.
Both should have the blue chroma light, but
hang
I
on,
think,
I've got the pet. Hang on. So we got.
Oh, you're referring to the Lume.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hang on, that's the date just and the.
I think
Pepsi,
it looks a little slightly greenish.
I'm just going to take.
that.
I'm going to take the Pikachu off. The Daytona, sorry. Ooh, hang on. Ooh, hang on. Ooh, is that working for you guys?
Yep. Can you put or can you move the Pepsi to the same level, just like your Daytona that we? Yeah, there you go.
So what do you reckon?
Hard to tell.
Yeah, it depends a bit. Now the hands look greener than the dial. It's more probably only the angle or something like that.
Yeah, the hands look really similar. But the indices, being one being stick and one being round,
yeah,
the indices look kind of whitish on the Daytona or on the GMT, the Pepsi.
I liked how you said white.
I hate to do this.
Man, that's how it's written. It's how it's pronounced.
White.
Shall I get Submariner as well and have all three? Go and fetch the Submariner.
Yeah, I think the Submariner has true green Lume. That is the previous.
I don't know.
generation.
I mean, I've never tried this.
Is that tritium or is that already?
No, tritium, I think, stays glowing forever.
Well, tritium doesn't need UV because it's radioactive with a half-life of 30 years.
Yeah.
It does degrade,
That's
tritium
why,
on my 16013 is over. It's halved. Yeah, it's halved the brightness.
well, like ball watches are known for their numbers being made out of little tritium-filled dials or vials.
Oh, that Lume on
the tubes. Yeah.
Yeah, little vials, little tubes. And so their numbers are kind of like LCD. They're blocky, very blocky, squarish numbers, because they need to be made out of little lengths of tubes.
So Arceus is here in the house. Good evening, good day to you. And Forbin Colossus is bringing out horror story radium half-life for 1,600 years. So old Rolex can kill you. Well, you shouldn't inhale it.
They won't. It only creates radon gas. You need about 30 in a drawer, and then you need to put your nose into a drawer after it's been in there for 2 weeks and really sniff the gas and start possibly causing you a problem.
I think you need to be. You need to be one of those. You need to be one of those people back in the day that was hand painting and licking the tips of the brushes. For 10 years to get that level of
the radium
poison.
girls.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what we can do, we can go. So, okay, we've got a Pepsi, we've got a Daytona. Okay, now we're going to move to a pre-ceramic Submariner. So I don't know how that looks.
I think it still glows under UV, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's not tritium, so. But I don't know, it seems quite bright. That sub doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think any of these are
and
tritium.
now we've got a new Submariner. So we've got the new one compared to, so the ceramic versus pre-ceramic.
The ceramic is on the right, correct?
On the right,
Yeah.
And then we've got the pre-ceramic. Then we got the Daytona. Then we got the Pepsi. And then we have a diamond thing that just the diamonds glow.
Yeah, that is one hell of a fucking little mini Rolex collection there, buddy.
You know, Dodger was known for being the guy with the silly hats. Now he's showing the big baller Rolex collection.
Yeah, now he's showing what a true badass he is. Hey guys, I got to jump off. I've got an appointment with my Porsche.
Oh, so, what's happening?
It's calling to me. I've got to go for a drive.
Ooh, okay, so enjoy it. Don't kill yourself, Mikey.
Oh no, I won't.
Drive to survive.
I promise you, I won't. I've got a friend.
It's not called a widow maker for no reason, you know. That's at 9:30. Do you know I had one of those in the 80s? It's gonna kill you. Oh yeah. A few of those.
I'm taking mine in steps. I still have yet to go full throttle with it.
Don't even bother.
Yeah, it's fun enough just to go half throttle and let that turbo hit and just go wow. And just know that there's another half throttle,
wait until it just does it randomly when you're halfway around the corner, and then go wow. Tell me all about it when you get back.
You know me. We're both race car. We're both track people. And I'm just not one to do that. I know better.
I'll be honest with you. I've raced motorcycles around a racetrack, and what would scare me more is taking that 9:30 out when it's slightly damp early in the morning.
Oh yeah,
and then just going around the corner and not knowing when that turbo is going to hook in. You just don't know. There's nothing you can do about it.
I'm reserving my turbo moments for being in a straight line.
yeah,
always.
Yeah. And then pray to God he never does it mid corner.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I'm not driving it like that in corners. Not yet, at least.
Don't.
You know, that'll be down the road when I trust it more and I know more about it. So far, though, it's instilling great confidence. The oil pressure's great.
Beautiful car. Beautiful.
The engine's running absolutely perfectly and has a couple little. The valve covers are leaking, so when after an hour-long drive, it leaves a drop or two of oil on the floor. But
that's never good.
Well,
yeah, but with Porsche, that's pretty
it's an air-cooled Porsche, man. It's like it's not bad either.
I got you. I'm just busting your chops.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll check you guys later. Maybe you'll be back. You'll still be here when I get back.
Mikey, thank you very much for checking in, and hope that that it was interesting for you.
And,
enjoy the Porsche.
Yes, thank you very much. And it's been a pleasure, and I'll check all you guys later.
Bye, Mikey.
Bye. Hey,
so Higgins, the panel members are dying like flies. What are we doing wrong?
Well, I got to jump too, Higgins. Thanks for letting me talk diamonds and Dodger.
If you have any questions, you know where to find me, and I'm happy to reply if I can.
Oh, thank you, sir. See you guys.
Uzi, you have a great day. Uzi. Talk to you later. Bye bye.
Later.
Okay, Dodger. Now we are alone. So
I mean, I guess we haven't even touched on the 32 movement yet. That's in the Le Mans 24. But if we're losing panel members, we'll do it some other day. Yeah, we'll move on.
So the 32 movement has 7 additional parts, as far as I could find out. So the movement numbers are 4130. That is the old one. 4131. Which is the new movement, and then 4132, which is the Le Mans. And the Le Mans is different to the normal Daytona because it has that 24-hour counter, while the other, the normal Daytona only counts till 12 hours when you use the chronograph. Here's the new model. Here you can see the hour counter, and it stops at 12. Then it starts all over again. And the Le Mans is having a counter for until 24. To do that, Rolex was changing and adding seven parts, and that differentiates the 4131 from the 4132.
And the 32 has fewer parts than the 31.
And
what was the reference number of a Zenith Daytona?
Oh, don't ask me that. Wait. I have an article here of all generations.
I think I know it is, but I won't embarrass myself.
So
I'm not supposed to know.
I'm going to find out.
41,
so do you know what differentiates the Zenith from the in-house Rolex movement? How you can differentiate it?
Well, I know what Rolex did, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't come on here saying I'm an expert, but Rolex actually reduced the frequency of the Zenith movement to put that into the Daytona to improve on reliability. Am I correct?
Yeah, they did that, and so the story of the Zenith El Primero is quite interesting, because Zenith has been sold to an electronic company called Zenith back in the quartz crisis, and nobody believed that they would ever need those mechanical movements anymore. So those movements were supposed to be destroyed, but a clever watchmaker kept them apart. Also, he kept apart a lot of raw movements that they already produced but couldn't sell. Now, then a couple of years later, Ebel reached out to Zenith and asked if they could supply them with their El Primero chronograph movement. And Zenith did, and from the money that they made out of that deal, they could supply or work on improved tooling to then supply Rolex on a much larger scale. So those Ebel chronographs, at least at the very beginning, had old Zenith movements inside that have been refurbished, but those were of the time before it has been ordered to destruct that movement. So, but my question is, how can you differentiate it? You can differentiate it a little bit from the size of the batons, but the giveaway is if you draw that line between 3 and 9 on the dial, the centers of those counters are dead on that line, so that all lines up. If that makes sense. Can you see my cursor?
Makes sense. Yeah,
so,
makes sense.
So those line up. Now with the Rolex in-house movement, those centers of the subdials have moved slightly up. So if you draw that line here, you can see that those centers of those counters are a little bit above that line.
They're the 3 and 9, yeah.
You can also see that on your Rolex.
Yeah, I'm going to have a look now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah. So that is the giveaway for everybody who wants to know. Yes, CB is saying that the seconds on the seconds on the Zenith are at 12, where now the hour counter is. So that is also a giveaway. And then there are details. CB says the one in the picture is a Mark 1 with 200 miles and not 400, and so on and so on. So there are a lot of variations. I just gave you the main telltale.
Yeah, telltale works.
Yeah.
Wow, CB knows his stuff.
Yeah. Well, CB is he's an expert and avid watch collector for sure. So
for me, you know, I've got to be honest. You know, I'm not expert on watches, and not really. Well, I collect them, I suppose I'd be called, but I'm more form over function. I've never really understood. It's only now that I'm learning about the function above form, if you see what I'm saying. I've always bought watches based on form, you know, the way they look.
Like most people do.
Yeah. When I used to buy motorcycles, it was a different world. You know, I would know everything because, you know, I needed for the track, I needed maximum power for the books, you know, so I knew, you know, all about the engine type and everything, you know, the model number, because I had to get service parts for it. And so, yeah, I had a greater interest, but
I still have that question open that you haven't replied to. CB says I'm old and have 2 Zenith. I'm having those Ebel chronographs and I really love them. So one question that really puzzled me, I know you for your steel watches and for that two-tone Datejust. Why did you want that solid gold chronograph, yellow gold chronograph? What is the reason behind that?
The reasoning behind it was I've always liked gold, so yeah, I did choose to have. Back in '88, I chose to have the two-tone Rob. Then I could have had a Daytona at next to nothing. I mean, it cost me more to, even though I had a 30%. I paid £1,700, I think, for the two-tone Datejust. But I could have got the Daytona cheaper. But everybody in the kitchen sink was buying the, at my level anyway, was buying the two-tone Datejust. But then, if you're a big boss man, of course, you go day-date. But then you had things like, just to tempt you. Can you remember Tridor? Can you remember the Tridor
I
day
remember
dates?
those.
The tricolor gold banded day dates. I mean, that, if you were really, you'd really made it. That's what you'd buy. You'd have bought the Tridor. I mean, you wouldn't have touched the steel stuff. I mean, certainly you'd never go near an Air King. It's just like, but okay, but that was the '80s, and it was all about, you're out there to make money. You're out there to show off your money at that time. That's what the '80s was all about. Let's be frank about it. That's what everybody was doing, and that was the fashion. So, I kind of followed suit fashion-wise. But I've always had a thing about gold.
So you were
I have
targeting.
I have to see value. I can't see myself paying £25,000. Let's talk English money, not this European garbage. I certainly won't talk Zloty because you'll never do the math. But I can't see myself paying £25,000 for a stainless steel Daytona when for £28,000 I can have a solid gold Oysterflex. And there's something about the Oysterflex as well. I could never go solid gold because for me it's overboard. It's too, I won't use the word ostentatious, but it's just too much. With the Oysterflex and the breakup, with the black band and the gold clasp and then the gold head, it's just perfect. I can wear that, casually. I'm no longer in business, so I don't get invited, to the Lord Mayor's parade anymore or to fine dinners. And so, I don't really need a very dressy watch. It just sort of suits me. And also, I think the gold suits my colour. It also suits Mrs. Dodger as well and her hair. So,
I think it's a perfect combination with the black bezel and also the black strap, because we've been discussing the solid gold bracelet. That would be certainly too much. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's just like the joke about, Archie jokes about it being the landlord's watch, dish dash dosh, loads of money. It's a bit too much. It's a bit too, I use the word ostentatious, but yeah, it's just too flash. I'm not that flash. I like a bit of flash, I'll be honest about it. But here, I live in the villages here. I mean, I drink with the drunks here. They come round, we drink vodka, but nobody knows what I'm wearing on my wrist, and it's just absolutely fine for me. I just buy the watches for me. I traded in the motorcycles for the watches, and they don't kill me. I don't worry too much about them because, I could take a £20,000 motorcycle on a racetrack in the morning, and in the afternoon, if I flipped it, it's finished. I've lost £20,000.
Yeah.
So it's a no-brainer. I mean, they certainly keep the value better. Not that I'm into it for making money, but in terms of holding value secondhand, they keep the value. The reason why I can afford them is like what you Americans call them 911Ks, but I've saved up so much money over my lifetime. I retired when I was 50, so I've got a set amount of money, yeah. But the one thing that nobody tells you in life is when you're going to die. And so if you've got a budget, you never know.
There is a watch for that. Did you know that?
Sorry, there's a what?
There is a watch. So when you order this watch, you're giving DNA samples and a health record, and they're calculating your date of death, and it's virtually a countdown watch that shows you how long time you have until you die.
Yeah.
Based on
a few years ago, I transferred all my money into ethical funding, and so I don't involve myself. My money's not involved in being a loan shark or spending money on, little kids digging lithium out of little holes in the ground in Colombia or wherever. So, but the downside was, that money doesn't make money anymore. It just barely survives. I think last year, that one of the main ones actually lost money and paid more in administration fees than I did making money. And so, so for me to buy a watch, it's a no-brainer, really. The little bit I lose on the watch is the same as I'd lose on, my pension fund, over a year at the moment. And so that's the way it works. As I say, if I knew exactly when I was going to die, I might buy a few more watches.
Yeah, that's the dilemma. So, tell me a little bit. Yeah. So I know that that Mrs. Dodger is a client at a UK AD that closed its doors.
It's more than that. Yeah, well, somebody outed them for defrauding Rolex or something. It's even deeper than that.
Really?
So I'll send you the article, but I don't want to go public on it because it's one company's made an accusation that said the police. But the next thing I knew, they'd refurbished their premises in 2020. I mean, to refurbish it must have cost them a lot of money, to refurbish it the way Rolex want, the premises to be refurbished. And like in the end of 2023, they'd lost their franchise to Rolex, I think because of this problem. But yeah, they used to ask us. I mean, that's where I got my 1601 free from in 1988. It was a family-run business. But I think what's happened is over the years, more corporate people have taken charge of that business. And, it's all about the money more than anything else. And yeah, they'd suggest I'd have to buy this jewelry. Oh, I'd have to have a spend of, I don't know, 100 or 200,000 pounds to even be considered to, go on, and get a Patek or something. I was told this dead straight, that I'd have to spend this money before I'd even be considered. But as you know, my relationship with the AD in Germany was quite simply, I went in there, I spoke with a guy, I had a link added to my existing Pepsi because it was short of a link. They did that for €62, and I said, well, I don't want to waste anybody's time, but I really would like, a Daytona. He says, okay, I'll take your details. I asked him again, look, please, because of my experiences in the UK, I thought, well, it's just a waste of time even bothering. I said, I don't want to waste your time. I said, no, you just do it. And so I did that 15 months ago, as you know. And as we found out, it was that guy's, that shop assistant's first week, wasn't it, on the job?
Yeah, that was quite an interesting story. One second, let me reply to that question. Don't lose your train of thought. Beautiful Mr. Dodger, Arcuski is saying, thank you for sharing. Jonathan Quell Higgins, are all Rolex caseback photographed for record or certain models only? As far as I know, each single watch is being photographed and recorded. It's gonna be tough a little bit with the transparent casebacks now because you don't see those brush marks. So it will be difficult for those. But as far as I know, each single one is being photographed and recorded. Sorry for the interruption.
One comment, and probably with my little rice cam here, I won't be able to show you. But the one thing that's a bit annoying on the caseback, the brush marks are lined up. The brushing on the caseback is sort of at 11 o'clock, and I'd have preferred it at 9 o'clock or 6 o'clock. So it was. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's exactly the point. Rolex doesn't. So the caseback is brushed, and then they assemble the watch. Yes. And they put a certain torque on the caseback, and they finish when they're finished, not when the pattern is lining up.
Yes, when it's reached the correct level of torque. You think they fix this, but I think people like AP, they put the screws in, don't they, just so they can line things up.
No, the screws on the Royal Oak bezel are not screws. Those are bolts.
The bolts, yeah. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. You know that. I mean, the bolts, it's bolted in, so it all holds it in the same position,
Yeah, so those are always in the same position. The screws are on the caseback.
Bolts.
Yeah. So before we continue with the story, and it will be interesting to hear how you ordered it, how much hope you had that you will get it. Let me just go to one point which has been asked quite often, and you've been asking that. So the big question is: are all new Rolex Daytonas are having now that beautiful solid gold rotor, just like the platinum one? And as far as I found out, only the platinum and the Le Mans have that beautiful rotor that is visible then through the transparent case back. All the steel ones have a simpler rotor that you see here, so not solid gold. It's still prettier than the old one, but it's not solid gold.
We don't get to see it, do you? So there'll be no benefit of it, really.
Yeah. One other thing that differentiates or that they added now on the new one is the Geneva stripes here on the new movement that you can see here, and also they have a kind.
Can you explain? Now, this is where I need some help. Show me where the Geneva stripes are and what they actually are, because I don't know what they are.
So you see those stripes here running down?
Hang on, I'm both trying to look at the laptop and.
Oh yeah. One second. Maybe you can't.
I'm behind on the laptop.
1 second. I'm googling it. 1 second. Geneva stripe.
Yeah, I can see your arrow now.
Movement. Yeah. 1 second.
But they've done something like they call it Rolex Geneva or something. Oh.
Yeah, they call it Rolex Geneva stripe because at the gaps they are polished. The bevels are polished. So
Show me again with a mouse.
One second. I will show you Geneva stripes on a different picture. 1 second. Because here the rotor is a little bit in the way. So let's do that step by step. Okay, we have here movement finishing. So here on this part, you can see the Geneva stripes.
Okay, I'm still waiting for it to come on my screen on the laptop. Okay, Geneva stripes. Got you.
So those are Geneva stripes. And the trick is then to have the exact same orientation on those different elements when the watch is assembled. So not that that one Geneva stripe decorated part is facing in a different direction than the other one. So, but that is how Geneva stripes look like, and how you do that. It's a little rotating tool that is applied with an angle. That is how you achieve those Geneva stripes. And now we're going back to the Rolex.
Yeah. So what's their special system?
Okay. Now so Rolex always gives it a special name, and here they're doing a little bit different than usual. So here on the new movement on the right side, you can see the Geneva stripes. The old one doesn't have Geneva stripes here on the top plate.
I'm with you. I can see now. Yes.
So
yes.
why do they call them Rolex Geneva stripes?
Yes.
Because they have here in that gap, there's a little angle which is polished, which looks quite nice. And that is why they call them Rolex stripes. That is how I understand.
Okay, so the bevel's actually polished within that.
Yes.
Yeah, they're called Rolex stripe. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Presuming.
So all the new movements have those Rolex stripes, but only the two models with the transparent case back, so Le Mans and Daytona, have the solid gold rotor. All the other movements have that metal rotor. I assume that it's steel. Probably it's a heavier alloy, but that's it.
Great stuff.
So if I understand correctly, so you, Mrs. Dodger, Jamie Opulence, Mrs. Higgins, and myself, we have been meeting in Berlin, I think, a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago. Is that correct?
15 months ago.
15 months. Okay. So did you travel to Berlin with the plan of asking ADs?
Not at all. Not at
Okay.
all. I didn't. It just happened. I was there, and I thought, oh, let's walk into an AD. You know.
So you had some time to kill, and you
Yeah,
went
we had some
to an
time
AD
to
in
kill.
Berlin.
You know, you weren't around, and we went in. Yes, me, Mrs. Dodger, and Jamie, and
Did you ask
I
specifically?
wanted.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted a link. You see, I wanted to have a link put into the Pepsi
I
because it was a
remember
bit
that. Yeah.
tight. So,
Mhm.
and so they did that. You know, €62. I thought it was a bargain, really. Sized it up for me, did all that, and then I just said, "Oh, well, I'd be interested in a watch. Do I stand a chance?" I explained my story back in the UK and what a disaster area it was, and he said, "Well, of course. You know, I tried this before because I'd gone to, you know, in Poland it's a disaster because they all the watches in Poland go straight to family members and they're hoinked out. Yeah, there's no question of that. That's a fact. You see them the next day they're on a local version of Polish eBay. You know, it's like just a joke. So you got no chance. I went to Prague. I went to the Rolex boutique there, and they said, "Well, this is but you know, you live in Poland. You know, we're going to service. We're going well, which is fair enough. We're going to service, you know, our own people first. You know, people who live in the country first, basically. So no Polacks.
Are you living
allowed.
in the country?
No, I wasn't. No, it's the Czech Republic.
Okay. Prague. Yeah, sorry.
Prague. Yeah, Prague.
Yeah.
Prague's in the Czech Republic. It's not in
Yeah,
Poland.
okay.
If you didn't know that. Anyway.
Yeah, no. I was not entirely focused because I was looking something else up. Okay.
Oh yeah, don't get distracted by the chat. Anyway, and so that was, you know, fair enough. I get that. I live in Poland. Why hell would I not go to a Polish boutique? The reason is because they're all bent. Oh, I didn't say that. But so it was a disaster, and well, that just by chance, the guy. I didn't think it would happen. We took the details and kind of did wonder myself, and yeah, 15 months later, I got the call. Yeah, wow. I think it was the second one they'd had in 15 months.
So you specifically asked for the gold Daytona with the Oysterflex,
I didn't know it was a Pikachu I'd ordered. Mrs. Dodger chose the dial. Yeah, I wanted the gold piece, and I knew I liked the Oysterflex, but then she chose she chose it to be yellow gold, and she chose the dial, which now we know is the Pikachu dial. But at the point we actually ordered the watch, we didn't understand it being a Pikachu. Yeah.
And then around 4 weeks ago, you got the call.
Got a call, yeah.
Did you send them donuts? Did you regularly call them, or did you wait for their call?
No, didn't talk to them at all. Didn't send them any donuts. Didn't talk to the guy. What happened in between was the model change, as you know, and so we were sent an email to say the model has now changed. If you want to continue, you have to re-register your interest in a new model and say, do you agree to this new model? And we ticked all the boxes and said yes. And that went away. That was, 8 months ago, however long it was, and the model changed. And yeah, just didn't do anything. It's just perfect. Absolutely brilliant, you know.
So then the call came, your watch is there.
Yeah,
send money now. Send money now.
Send money now. I did, but he did say it has to be in my name, but we had a joint bank account. But Mrs. Dodger's name was first, and my initials were at the end. And apparently that wasn't. He said if it was some. Well, you were there. He said if it was something like a date just or something else, then it wouldn't have been a problem. He said, but because it's this watch, one of the more sought after ones, they have to be perfect in what they do.
Yeah,
and you know what German efficiency is. You know the rules.
I don't think that it has anything to do with German efficiency. To be honest,
no. I'm saying they're being efficient.
Yeah.
In terms of sticking to the rules and making sure things are done. And there's not a problem in that, and that's not criticism. I don't mind sticking, you know, because you know safety, and all that. You know, it's a good reason to stick to the rules. But,
yeah, if you have a Rolex AD contract that is a license to print money, and you'd rather stick to the rules instead of tampering that relationship that you have, because basically you're shooting yourself in the foot if you're doing something dodgy.
You know, if you lose that franchise brings in a lot of money. But yeah, so yeah, sent that money once and it didn't work, and so I had to get my other bank account up and running with just my name on it, because Mrs. Dodger does all them. I don't do money or book flights or anything. She does all that, but
they
I
told
had to then learn
you send money to this account, and
but
they
in
told you
in your full name, in my full name, in just my name, and so I sent another same amount of money to them.
So they told you it must be under the same name, just like
same as
like the
what's
order,
written down as my order,
yeah. And then you sent the money from the joint account.
No,
which
I sent it from my other personal account.
Okay, but
I
name of
I have a few bank accounts.
Yeah. So your wife's name comes first, and that was the problem. And then they called
That was the
you.
problem. Yeah, and said it doesn't work. I said okay. They said they're going to send it back, and I said, oh, okay. So I sent it from my other account, which is just in my name.
So you double paid, and what really annoys me is that the money is still not back. Which
I know.
Which so and that
Jonathan, it's even more complicated. Can you imagine the transfer from zloty to pounds to euros, and in the end, did I use the Bank UK? Yeah, I think I sent the money from the UK to my euro account in Poland, and then from my euro account, and so I've lost a lot in.
You're blowing a couple of €100 that way.
Yeah, no, I've probably blown about 400 or 500 euros in all this game. I'll tell you, in just transaction fees and cost of money, currency transfers.
Yeah, Apes. I don't think that there is much leverage. All he can do is ask kindly. That is my experience.
Can I have my money back, please?
Or you say, look, the money still hasn't arrived, but while you're having the money, maybe you can help me out with another watch. That is what I approached it.
But anyway, Jonathan, Mrs. Dodger says if she sends another email again, and she says, well, if it doesn't sort of work out by the middle of next week, we're going to set you on them. You can speak the language.
I'm known for ruining transactions.
That's okay,
But I'm keen in calling them, giving them a call, and just tell them friendly, look, guys, now it's about time. It's getting a little bit embarrassing, so please make sure that this time it happens.
But then again, well, hang on, Jonathan, can we switch though? Because I mean, let's face they've got money, haven't they? And what else for 32K do you think we could? We could do it. They'd be far better off selling something, wouldn't they? To me, rather than give me money back.
The big question is, has the money really gone? Is it lost somewhere between the banks? Or are they still having the money?
No, they've definitely got it in the account. I spoke to the accounts department. It's definitely there. It's in their bank account. So.
Okay.
So, mind you, there's a Patek as well. Can you get a Patek for that much? A decent one? There's no decent ones right now.
Well, it's worth trying, and to be honest, you're a little bit weasel. I mean, Archie calls you a snake for a reason.
Oh, snaky.
So if you call them and say, look, you still have the money, and maybe this Aquanaut that you can't sell anyhow, so maybe you can do that.
But I don't think it's snaky. It's just business, isn't it? It's far easier rather than me taking another hit on currency. Because they're now going to have to wait for it. Oh no, it's more complicated than that. That money was sent from a GBP account, transferred into euros, and so what they're going to have to do is try and transfer from their bank account from euros to GBP to pay into a GBP. Now that is not that simple.
They will pay back in euros, and you will be fucked again by the conversion to GBP.
Well, this is the thing. But I'm not being snaky. But it seems to me the solution would be far better. They just sold us something else.
Yeah,
it's the something else that's the big question.
So well, if you want me to call them, I'm happily gonna do that. And I promise you, I'm going to do the best, and I will not tell them that they should only sell to Germans. So we can do it that way. But I recommend you call them directly, and if there is still nothing going on, then probably I try to call them.
Do you think I should ask them for an Aquanaut? Is that a good thing to buy an Aquanaut? I have no idea what that. What's
Well,
an Aquanaut anyway? Is it some kind of
it's a beautiful
figurine or something?
watch. If you can get it at retail, you can't go wrong.
How much are they at retail?
As far as I know, around 27.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll ring them up and say, well, rather than mess around, I'll just take an Aquanaut.
Or if you fancy white gold, get a 5811. That's the new Nautilus, which is only available in white gold.
Oh.
Yeah, loose couldn't hurt to ask, and I agree with.
No, it doesn't hurt to ask. They've got the money, and they could just do the deal. I'll just go and pick up the watch.
Worst that could happen is, sorry, we can't help you with that. So there is no harm in that.
So can I help you with that? Here's your money back. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. I'll say, well,
So then, when you sent the money twice, you received that afternoon that they told you that they can't accept the first wire, you wrote me a message and you were totally pissed off. Fuck Rolex, and I'm done with that shit and everything.
That's me. I'm stupid for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, you were furious.
That's why I'm Mrs. Dodger. See, Mrs. Dodger calms me down, tells me not to be so stupid and to stop throwing my toys out the pram.
Yeah, you did. So you sent another wire, then they told you, okay, the money has arrived.
That'll be fine. Yeah, your watch is ready to collect. Yeah.
So they told they asked you what date are you coming, or they said we are here, so we were waiting for you.
Yeah, he said come on the Monday. I said, oh yeah, cool. Well, and then you happen to be, because it was a case that you wouldn't have been able to join because you were away. The way it turned out, it was actually fitted in quite well that there was this delay because of the money problem. That you were able to make it.
Yeah, I was on vacation, but the delay because of the second wire coming in was compensated by that. So virtually after I came back from vacation on Saturday, we were in touch, and then we adjusted our schedules, and we both went to Berlin to collect the watch. Is that correct? On Monday?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So I'm just reading the chat. Apes. Okay, so call them and ask for a Nautilus 5811. Okay. Shall we give it a go?
Yeah, but the Nautilus 5811 is like 85,000. That is a solid
that's too much money. Yeah. There's a normal one that's cheaper, is there? Okay.
So Apes, we try to explain that the problem is with those new models, Rolex is very keen that everything goes by the books. So which means a client orders it, and the same name who ordered it must pay it. So the rules by Rolex is AD. Please make sure that the name on the order is the same name on the transferring bank, and that is where the trouble started, because on Dodger's other account, the first name is his wife's name, and then there is an add-on with his name.
My initial, it's like Mrs. Dodger's full name and my initials, because that's all that fitted into the window, and so that was not enough as evidence that the money came from myself.
Yeah.
Even though this is the same surname, and obviously my wife, even though it was my wife, it was not enough evidence for. And I understand that's I understand why they're doing it, so that's not a problem. It's our own fault. They did say.
We have the same problem with Hermes. Mrs. Higgins ordered an Hermes Kelly bag, and it was done under my name. And when she picked it up, she wanted to pick it up herself, but she couldn't do it because I had to be the person with a credit card under that name. So the same rule applies, for example, if you're buying a rare handbag by Hermes. So it's not only Rolex.
But all these hidden things in our little hobby, the little pitfalls we have in our little hobby, even paying for something can be a bind.
Look, they don't want to deal with strawmans. So I'm the big boss in the background. I'm sending my strawman daughter out to order watches for me, and then I'm writing the checks. They don't want this to happen. So that is why the names have been 100% the same.
Well, to be honest, when you turned up, you had a backpack on, for a start. You had 2 watches on your wrist, and one was a 200 grand or whatever it was, and the other one was the Pepsi. And so you're wearing 2 watches and a backpack. And I thought, this guy's going to reckon that you're my boss flipper. You're my, you're the money man. You're about to stick that watch in your backpack and flip it.
Yeah. Thank God it worked, and our scam has not been exposed.
No, but he certainly got a lecture on Langay, didn't he? The poor guy. I felt sorry for him. You gave him that huge lecture about Langay.
I think he was interested. I think it was not a lecture. It was just.
I think he was just being, Jonathan. I think he was just being polite to you, mate. I would listen to your bullshit about Langay because he doesn't sell them, does he? Oh yeah, well, internal angles on this, and the beveling on that, and a fusee on that, and one last question. Okay, seriously, we're going back to the other day. On the fusee chain, I know I'm changing the subject. Is there a chain tensioner?
A chain pincher? What does it mean? You can shorten?
A tensioner.
No.
So that means that chain will wear from the second you buy it, and then within X months it'll go loose, and it'll stop doing its job. 'Cause every chain I know that does a job like that has to have a tensioner on it because of wear within the chain. Chains wear like God knows what.
I haven't thought about that, and now that you're asking, I'm gonna ask Lange.
Even your old Mini would have had a chain tensioner on it, and the same with motorcycles. Every couple of weeks you have to move it a couple of millimeters because the chains wear. They stretch and they wear.
Yeah, but aren't
that's a good tensioner with a spring and a little clip that holds it back. You see.
Are they being worn because they touch those teeth all the time, or is it really the torque, the pull that lengthens those chains?
It's like a device that sits on a chain and pulls upon the chain.
I know how it works.
At a constant tension. Because otherwise, as the chain stretches, it loses tension, and therefore, it could induce slip. It certainly
it won't slip because it won't slip because there are no tooth. So basically, those are just 2 tubes that are connected with the chain, and that chain is under constant tension.
That's it. The constant tension is something springing it out to hold a constant tension. Rather than just relying on...
They are under constant tension, of course. The pull of the mainspring constantly keeps that spring under tension and straight. So the only concern that I would have
on that is that it stretches. Interesting.
The only concern would be that it stretches, yes, but the tension is always there. You don't need to add a tensioner because of the added length.
Okay. Interesting. Far too interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. It's a complete diversion.
So when we picked the watch up, we were led into a little compartment, which is a little bit away from the sales part. We got beautiful coffee and chocolates, and then he showed you the watch. He handed it over to you. The rubber strap, the Oysterflex strap, had to be replaced because you're a fat fuck. So we needed a little bit longer.
We needed a fat fuck strap. Yeah.
Oysterflex. So that has been done on the spot. And I remember when you finally had your watch on your wrist, you were standing up. And you were full of happiness. And I really enjoyed that moment because usually we see you sitting on the sofa, always in the same good mood. But I could see that you've been really excited and really thrilled that this story has been brought to a happy ending.
No, I was very pleased, surprised, and happy that I got the watch. But you remember Sticker Gate? I just wanted to keep the one. He said, "Well, we're gonna have to take it away now and take all the stickers off it." I was like, "Oh, can I just keep the one on the bottom of the clasp? Because that's the thing I scratched. The thing I scratched first is the bottom of the clasp.
Yeah.
No, they all have to. But you know what? They've left 2 stickers on.
So they
Do you know where? Just on the
Okay.
base of the just where the the strap meets the case. Those 2 points. They've
Oh,
missed
that's
those 2
interesting
little
because he
tiny stickers.
insisted in removing all the
Well,
stickers, and you really wanted to have that sticker on the.
I
on the back
said
of
just
it.
the one on the bottom of the clasp, so it'll give me a bit of time, because that's the first thing I scratch. Desk surfing, I scratched the clasp.
Yeah, did you scratch it already?
Oh yeah, scratch. Yeah. Good and proper. That's out the way now. That shock's out the way.
The first cut is the deepest, and then
yeah, it doesn't matter.
I think
the
pain goes away then.
If I was interested in flip, I guess it would matter if I was looking to make profit out of it straight away, but I wasn't.
So
it's
we found out.
It's a keeper.
So you thank the sales guy for keeping his word, and that you didn't believe that you would finally get the watch and so on.
No,
and then he told us you were there the first week that he was starting selling.
He was starting to work there.
Yeah. So
one of his first clients.
Yeah. You had good memories, and but he said there is no difference, or he was not especially motivated, or he didn't know the rules or anything. He said every client who walks in, who places an interest, will be recorded, and when it's his turn, then we will call him. So there are no games, no bundling, no selling up,
no messing around, nothing. He didn't mention for one moment, "Oh, take a look at this," or "You might have to buy." No, just a proper professional transaction all the way through. Just what an AD experience should be, with no messing around, just professionalism all the way through. Absolute professionalism.
Yeah. So that was really refreshing. So we have 2 informations. Actually, MCM is saying a Bernhard Lederer for only watch. I guess it was the CIC, Central Impulse Chronometer, sold for 45,000 Swiss francs. That watch is worth 120,000. That would be crazy, and somebody really got a steal. So that's a very interesting information. I couldn't approach Christie's webpage yesterday, so that information is new for me. So Apes is asking, Dodger, can I confirm Jonathan gave you the Carbon Mont Blanc pen to give to Apes? Can you confirm that?
Apes, I don't know what sort of deal you got with Jonathan, but you have to be a very special pal. He gives everybody else a pen. Like he'll give Jamie Opulence, the Opulent one, a pen, and he'll send one over to Mike. But poor Dodgy doesn't get nothing. Mind you, to be fair, to Jonathan, I'm really happy that he just gives me chocolate. He gave me a kilo of chocolate. So not only did I get a nice new watch, Jonathan kindly supplied me and Mrs. Dodger with a kilo of chocolate, which is very much appreciated.
Rittersport. Did you eat all
Rittersport, Rittersport. That's good.
Yeah. Do you have some over, or do you eat?
Yeah, because Mrs. Dodger doesn't really eat the marzipan. I've still got.
Can you show us the two different types on camera?
Yeah, I sure can. I'll go walk into the kitchen. I'll get up off my fat ass off the sofa for a change.
So Muhammad Ali,
I'm amazed my battery on the phones works this long.
Muhammad Ali is asking, did Dodger buy Crispy Creme for the AD? I guess that is a Polish thing, or is that Krispy Kremes?
Krispy Kreme. No, I didn't. As I say,
nothing.
From that time I went in with Jamie when we met up with you in Berlin. I went there, and then the next time I was there was to collect the watch. It's just really incredible.
Yeah. Loose Tooth is saying you did better. You gave him an extra 32K.
Well, yeah, I've still got the 32K saga. Mrs. Dodger, where's that chocolate? People want to see chocolates. It was out here somewhere. Hang on.
So Dodger, I didn't give you a pen for Apes. Is that correct?
No, don't give me a pen because I can't write properly.
So because Apes is trying to get a Mont Blanc carbon pen out of me, which is my personal favorite pen. So I'm not gonna give them that away. Although Apes, I love you, but that's not gonna happen, and you know that. So Mohammed is saying, great pickup, Dodger. I agree. It's a great pickup. And may I be
sliding up the chocolates?
Yeah, dramatic. I think this watch kind of connects us a little bit more than we already are. And I'm really happy and I feel honored that I could be there when you picked the watch up. So those are the Ritter Schwarz, yes.
I love you too. Hang on. Yeah. Full screen.
Nougat and marzipan. 1 second, full screen.
Is that working? Is that the right orientation? Is it?
Oh, it's the wrong orientation, but doesn't matter. People get the idea.
Oh, that way.
Yeah. No.
1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I gave you 10, so you ate 3?
Yep, so far, yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, then we have people here asking, so Dodger, what's next?
Well, seeing as we had some help from somebody kindly in the chat saying, well, seeing as they got 32,000 of my money, or Mrs. Dodger's, I don't know whose money it is, our money. We're going to ask for the Aquanaut.
Yep.
We're going to ask for the Aquanaut. Ooh.
Yeah. Just tell them, when you transfer the money back, I will be hit with another bank fees. So maybe we can convert it into another purchase.
Aquanaut will do. Aquanaut will do.
Yeah. I wouldn't be that blunt. I would tell them, look, I'll be honest. I know that it's going to be difficult, but I'm looking for an Aquanaut. Maybe you can help me with that.
Do you want to buy a Tiffany lamp?
No.
Okay.
Is that a spider crack there? Oh, one of the 7 cats.
One of the magnificent 7, yeah.
So, other than the Aquanaut, which is now a spontaneous thing, do you have any further plans for any further watch purchases, or is that it?
No, I was going to get rid of some that I don't wear, except there are watches that I just don't wear anymore.
Yeah,
I've got some in the UK as well that I've forgotten where I've put them. Mrs. Dodger found them, luckily, but she went to the UK a couple of weeks ago and she's found them. But I need the stuff that I don't wear. Well, I'm going to go get one of these old over 60s cruises, to get a bath chair, these wheelchairs and something, and just go on one of these cruises with old decrepit people.
Yeah.
Like we are now. Yeah, do something like that with the money instead.
Yeah, very good. But I know that one of your secret wishes is a Lange, but you always tell me...
my secret wish is, to have a... I don't know if I fall in love with it. If we go to Glashütte, I might buy Glashütte, if I'm down there, I might buy one.
In the factory outlet, you mean?
Well, I don't know, is there a factory out? I've never been there, so I don't know what's there.
There is none, but it would be nice to have a Lange factory outlet with 30% discount, wouldn't it?
Oh, I was going to say to everybody, I reckon, don't buy any watches now, because I think that, your arse is going to fall out the watch market and you're going to start getting 30% off these things again very soon. Yeah, obviously not off things like Pepsi, stainless steel Daytona, the Aquanauty things or whatever they are, Nautilus or wherever. But all the other stuff, I reckon 18 months time, it's all going to be 30% off time again. So I wouldn't go buying a watch now unless it's, you get an offer of a Pepsi or a Daytona or a Nautilus.
Yeah.
That's just my thoughts. I think the prices are going to really go down.
It's always difficult to find the right moment when the market is at its lowest. So it's very difficult. You haven't replied the question, did Dodger buy Krispy Kreme? Or is that a Polish thing or what is that? Is that Krispy Kremes?
Krispy Kremes? No, didn't buy anything like that. Did we give him anything? No, we didn't even give him. Oh, I'll have to go back. I'll go back.
He received jack shit. Yeah.
Yeah, he got jack shit, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I gave you a bar of chocolate. We gave you 1 bar of chocolate and you gave us 10. I thought that was a good deal.
Yeah.
And most appreciated, Jonathan, was you bought us lunch as well. So it was
yes, I have.
Win. You paid for
But the lunch was beautiful, and
you paid for you paid for Jonathan paid for our parking, he paid for our meal, he drove us in. He drove us into the city, he drove us out of the city.
I was doing the limousine service for Mrs. and Mrs. Dodger, and it was my pleasure. Yeah.
No, it's fantastic. Fantastic.
But I really liked the lunch that we had and the alcohol-free beer. I think that tasted
that's the best
really good.
Alcohol-free beer I've ever had.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we are set. Do you have any last questions?
Yeah, any last questions? Why have I got Christmas decorations up when it's not Christmas?
Yeah, looks good.
I have no idea why that is.
So you know how to call me. You call me always when you have to set up your Pepsi, but there is no issue with that with the Daytona.
No, the beauty is there's no issue with. Oh, hang on, put some light on. There's no issue with this little baby.
So you own the watch now for 2 weeks, is that correct?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Did you wear any of your other watches in the meantime?
Nah. Nah.
Still in the honeymoon phase?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
It's looking still very good on the buckle. Usually I wreck them in the first week.
Well, I don't do much desk. I do more with a tractor and stuff like that, and chopping wood than I do, manual labour than sitting at a desk, desk surfing. With the
but you're not going to wear it when you're chopping wood.
Oh, I've been today, but most of the chopping's done. It's more sawing the branches with the chainsaw. Okay. So yeah, the chainsaw.
And you wear your Daytona for that?
Yeah. I used to race the motorcycle with a Datejust, the 16013. I used to race it around the racetrack, buzzing away on my wrist. I've had a few big crashes wearing the Datejust, and it survived, all of them.
But you haven't been wearing the Daytona for the woodwork today?
Yeah.
You did?
Just the chainsaw, just chopping, with a chainsaw, okay. Yeah. I can do. We'll do another show. I'll do a demo of me chainsawing wood with the date. Why anybody would want to watch that, I don't know. But you have to be a real anorak to watch that.
Okay, so I think we are done. Unless you have some final questions. Apparently, there are none. So everybody in the comments, apparently have slowed down. So there are no further questions in the comments. So I think I'm going to wrap this baby up. If you're okay with it, Roger.
Yeah. Wrap the baby up. Yeah, no problem.
So we're going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. It was an absolute pleasure. I think it was very interesting for us all. Thanks for the people from the dungeon who came over. Thanks to OC, to Uzi, Jamie Opulence, and our special guest Dodger, who joined us on the panel. Thank you very much to the guys who were chatting in the chats. Hope that you enjoyed it and hope to see you all for the next time. We will be back. Have a great day. Have a great evening. Enjoy your watches. Bye-bye.
Dobranoc from Polska.